If pivot table grouping won't work, Excel is usually telling you one simple thing: your field isn't truly groupable. The frustrating part is that Excel rarely explains which item is blocking it. In this video, you'll learn a clean, repeatable checklist to fix grouping for dates, numbers, and even manual groups. We'll start with the fastest causes, like hidden blanks and text that looks like a date. Then we'll move into deeper issues, like mixed data types, merged cells, and bad source ranges. I'll also show you how to confirm what Excel thinks your data is, so you're not guessing. By the end, you'll be able to fix the root cause, not just rebuild the pivot table and hope it works. And you'll know a few prevention habits that stop grouping from breaking again the next time the data refreshes. Let's make grouping reliable, not random. Next step. Before fixing anything, it helps to identify what kind of grouping is failing. Date grouping usually fails when Excel can't recognize every item as a real date. Number grouping fails when one value is text, blank, or an error. Manual grouping can fail when the pivot table is in a mode that restricts grouping, or when the field is coming from the data model. So ask one quick question: are you trying to group a date field, a numeric field, or just select items and group them manually? That single answer determines the fastest path. Also notice the exact behavior. Do you get a message like, "cannot group that selection"? Or is the group option simply disabled? A disabled button often points to data model or OLAP style pivots. A cannot group message usually points to bad values in the source. Once you classify the failure, you can stop trying random fixes and go straight to the cause. Next step. The most common cause is a date column that contains at least one value Excel does not treat as a date. It might look like a date, but it's actually text. Or it might be a blank cell, a space, or an error like #A. Here's the practical approach. Scan the source column for blanks, errors, and weird entries like TBD or bash. Even one of those will break grouping. Next, check for leading apostrophes, because that forces text. Also watch for imported data where dates arrive in inconsistent formats, like some rows using month, day, year, and others using day, month, year. Excel may interpret part of the column differently. Your goal is simple. Every row in that field must be a valid Excel date serial number. Once that's true, pivot table date grouping usually starts working immediately after a refresh. Next step. If you suspect dates stored as text, don't rely on appearance. You need a quick test. One simple check is to pick a few cells and change the number format to general. Real dates will turn into a number, like 45231. Text dates will stay as text. Another check is to use a helper formula like IS number on the date cell. If it returns false, Excel doesn't see a real date. To convert, you have a few safe options. Text to columns can coerce text dates into real dates when you choose the correct date order. Date value can convert many text patterns into a real date, and multiplying by 1 sometimes works for numeric-looking text. After conversion, copy and paste values back into the source column so the pivot table reads clean data. Next step. For number grouping, the rule is similar. Every item must be a real number. The hidden blockers are usually blanks, numbers stored as text, or error values. A common example is a column that mixes 100, 200, and then an empty string from an import. Another example is a value like 1,200 stored as text because of a comma or a currency symbol. Start by filtering the source column for blanks and errors. Then test a few values with IS number. If you find text numbers, convert them consistently. Value can help, and so can multiplying by 1, but be careful with thousand separators and decimal symbols. Also check for trailing spaces because 100 space is not the same as 100. Once the column is truly numeric from top to bottom, grouping by ranges will work. Next step. Sometimes grouping fails even though the column looks clean because the pivot table source range is messy. If your data range includes extra blank rows, subtotal lines, or mixed headers, the pivot table may pull in non-data values. That can quietly break grouping. The best practice is to convert your source range into an Excel table. Tables expand automatically, keep headers consistent, and reduce the chance of pulling in junk rows. Also confirm you have exactly one header row with unique header names. If you have merged cells in the source, that's another red flag, because merged headers often create blanks in the underlying structure. Clean, rectangular data is what pivot tables expect. Once your source is a proper table, refresh the pivot table so it rereads the clean structure. Next step. Now let's cover the case where the group option is grayed out. That's a different problem than cannot group. The most common reason is that your pivot table is built from the data model, also called power pivot. In that mode, classic grouping is limited because the pivot behaves more like an OLAP pivot. Another cause is when you're using a connection to an external data source where grouping is controlled by the source, not Excel. In these cases, you typically solve grouping by changing the model, not by forcing the pivot table. For dates, the standard fix is to add a proper date table and use it for grouping by month, quarter, and year. For numeric bands, you can add a calculated column that assigns each row to a bucket. It's a different workflow, but it's stable. Next step. Manual grouping has its own set of rules. If you're selecting items and choosing group, it can fail when the field contains blanks, or when you're mixing different item types in the selection. It can also get confusing when the pivot table is set to show items with no data, because that can introduce extra members that don't behave like normal items. Another practical issue is that manual groups are stored inside the pivot table, not in your source data. So if you rebuild the pivot table or change the field layout, you may lose them. If manual grouping is important, consider adding a helper column in the source called something like category or segment. Then you're grouping in the data itself, which survives refreshes and rebuilds. Manual grouping is fine for quick analysis, but helper columns are more reliable. Next step. If grouping used to work and suddenly stops after a refresh, think about what changed in the incoming data. One new blank date, one NA in a number column, or one text formatted value can break it. This is where a small validation step pays off. Add a couple of check columns next to your key fields. For dates, use isNumber to confirm their real dates. For numbers, use isNumber again, or check for errors with isError. Then filter those check columns for false or true, depending on the test, and fix only the bad rows. This turns a mysterious pivot table error into a short list of specific records you can correct. If the data is coming from an import, you can also enforce types during the import step, so the pivot doesn't break later. Next step. Let's talk about a subtle issue: hidden characters and spaces. A cell can look blank but actually contain a space, a non-breaking space, or a line break from copied data. In pivot tables, that can act like a real item and interfere with grouping, especially for manual grouping and for date fields that are actually text. The practical fix is to clean the source. Trim removes normal leading and trailing spaces. Clean removes some non-printing characters. For non-breaking spaces, you may need substitute to replace the character with a normal space, then trim again. If that sounds technical, the key idea is simple. Make sure your blank cells are truly empty and your values don't have invisible junk attached. Once cleaned and pasted as values, refresh the pivot table and retry grouping. Next step. Another common confusion is grouping behavior when you have multiple date fields, or when you add the same date field to the pivot table more than once. Excel can create grouped fields like years and months automatically, but those grouped fields can get out of sync after changes. If you see strange grouping results, remove the grouped date fields from the pivot table and regroup from the original date field. Also be aware that grouping creates new fields inside the pivot table field list, and those fields depend on the original data being valid. If the original date column changes type, the grouped fields may behave unpredictably. The clean approach is, fix the source date column first, refresh, then regroup. It's slower than trying to patch the pivot, but it avoids the weird edge cases. Next step. If you want grouping that never breaks, build it into the data. For dates, add columns like year, quarter, month, and week using formulas, or by generating them during your import. For numbers, add a band column that assigns ranges, like 0 to 99, 100 to 499, and 500 plus. Then your pivot table is just summarizing categories that already exist, instead of relying on pivot table grouping logic. This is especially helpful when multiple people use the file, because it removes the works on my machine problem caused by regional date settings or inconsistent inputs. It also makes your analysis more transparent. Anyone can look at the band or month column and understand the grouping rule immediately. Pivot tables are great at summarizing, but the cleanest grouping is often done upstream. Next step. Let's wrap this into a quick troubleshooting order you can reuse. First, check whether group is disabled or you get cannot group. If it's disabled, suspect data model or an external connection and switch to a date table or bucket columns. If you get cannot group, inspect the source field for blanks, errors, and text values. For dates, confirm their real date serials. For numbers, confirm their real numbers with no symbols or spaces. Then clean hidden characters if the column still behaves strangely. After that, refresh the pivot table and regroup from the original field, not from leftover grouped fields. If grouping keeps breaking after refreshes, add validation checks or build the grouping into helper columns. If you want, leave a comment with your case. A, date grouping fails, or B, number grouping fails. And if this walkthrough helped, subscribe for more Excel problem-solving videos. Subscribe to keep optimizing your workflow and get back more of your time.